Hey guys, so here bringing you another video. So welcome to another episode of League Discussion. So this one's going to be a little bit different. We're not really got any gameplay in the background. They're not like specifically topics just to talk about and chat about. They're more looking at the updates that I apparently have completely missed. I didn't know that Riot were doing these. You can see this one is 2 months old. Then we've got a 29 days old, and then 4 days ago. And then also, if we have enough time, then we also can talk about this as well, but it could be a separate video in the next couple of days. So these are the pre-season development updates. Now, we're not going to go through all of them. We're basically just going to have a little skim through each of these updates and just kind of give my opinions of what they're doing and why. And just kind of talk about it. You know, we can have discussion down below in the comments. Feel free to like the video as well. And just see what people think about it. See what I think about it. Because I have not seen any of these. I must be living under a rock. So, the first thing that they are doing is laning phase is improved and slightly longer. Interesting. So, here are some early concepts of a new prototype of a new tower, apparently. And it looks like if we looked at this image, apparently I can't, but I can't make it bigger. You can see here that there's like a barrier in front of the tower and a shield or whatever. Potentially towers nowadays have like actual little barriers that you have to break those first instead of like making the tower longer basically to get, and that does seem the case. So outer turret, so it is here, outer turrets now start the game with a barricade that adds 5 small health bars on top of the turret's main health. Each piece of the barricade can be destroyed and rewards the local players for some gold. Roughly around the 10-minute mark, these barricades go away. Oh, interesting. Wow. So it's basically, yeah, it's forcing the game to be longer, and if you are one of those snowball lanes, you can't snowball as quick. You can't kill the tower I'm sure we've all been in the situation that like you're in top lane, you just die to the one gank at like 7 minutes in, and then the enemy jungler and the top laner kill the tower entirely. There's no damage to the tower so far, yet in one push they kill the tower at 7 minutes, and you're like, what? That can't happen anymore, apparently. Like, or at least it's going to be very hard to do so. Interesting. Very interesting. I actually like that idea. We don't know, by the way, it doesn't say here, we don't know how much health that these little tower things have. Maybe in one of the other updates it'll mention it, but yeah. So also, comebacks are more achievable and satisfying. Oh, they're going to have to be very careful with this. The game could feel really unhealthy is if you're winning because you're the better team comp, you're winning, you're getting ahead, you should win, and then they have a crazy comeback mechanic, and then all that work that you've done has completely gone because they implement some crazy comeback mechanic. I actually don't think that would be a good idea at all. But let's see what it is. It's worth noting that the lane phase changes mentioned above are actually doing some good work for us here in comebacks and making it less snowbally, sure. Fewer early first towers are preventing cases where a big gank leads into a big gold lead in the early game, etc. Sure. What are they doing, though? Bounties have been a good tool for us because killing a powerful enemy is both skillful and leads to actively fighting for a comeback. So, yeah, they're saying bounties are a good way to make a comeback. You know, the bonus gold you get if someone is on a killing spree. Especially in higher level play, a lot of the game's snowball is coming from non-kill places. So we think it's an improvement to the system to integrate all of the gold sources. We're doing this carefully so we don't end up punishing players for farming, which you should still do. Overall, we want bounties to increase slightly, so may lower kill bounties to compensate. Oh, so basically what I think we're getting from this is that they're changing how bounties work. That if you're just power farming, you're actually also going to be building up a bounty. So if you're a Master Yi, for example, it just came to my head, and you're only farming, you're not ganking, if you only are farming, you're actually going to be putting a prize on your head by building a lot of farm up, as well as like not just bounties for kill streaks anymore. That's interesting. Okay. I don't think that's that bad, because that actually decentivizes the playstyle of just farming to late game. Interesting. I take it. We're also testing some reductions in global tower gold. It's one of the most powerful snowball sources currently, and de-emphasize the individual. Yeah, I like that completely. I don't think towers gold should be global because it's your achievement. Whoever are there taking the tower, it's what they did. It's their achievement. I think that's good. Next is decided games resolve faster. Melee and Canyon minions health scales are much higher in mid and late game. These changes allow games to end more naturally, and we've been seeing fewer games where a team has clearly lost, but it drags out. Yeah. So they might be actually making this So if you are just if a true snowball is happening when they do these changes, maybe you won't make a comeback. Maybe it's like, right, you're winning the game, you've got buffed up minions, just win the game, get out of the game. Because again, the way that League of Legends is a dreadful game when you're losing. It feels awful when you're losing. Everybody knows this, Riot knows this. It's awful. So maybe getting these games quicker and making them faster that have been 100% decided, maybe that's a good idea. Rune Pass no longer dictates stat bonuses. I think that's a good thing. I don't think it was a great idea having that. We're testing a new independent stat choices on every rune page, still working out the details between 2 or 3, but tests on both have been very promising. The stat choices are categorized into offensive and defensive stats. Both systems incentivize or require some mixing of offense and defense. We think this is good things, the game rounding out players for aggressive. So basically, that they're saying if you want to click offensive, I think what they're saying here is you can choose whether your runes are offensive or defensive. You'll literally be able to pick, and if you go for offensive, it's going to give you bonus attack damage, ability power, attack speed, cooldown reduction. If you pick defensive, it gives you resistances and regen. I think that's cool. I think that's fine. And the miscellaneous, we're moving the minion spawn and spawn timer about 30 seconds earlier. Wow, really? Whoa. That's actually quite big. We want to leave room for invades or other interesting early strategies. Well, I was about to actually mention that. But in 95% of games, players end up waiting around for 30 seconds. Yeah, you just kind of just sit in there like a lemon and just kind of like, yo, can we start the game? This is interesting for a couple reasons. Okay, so firstly, we've all been there that your AD carry is 30 seconds late to lane. You know, oh, sorry, I had a bathroom. That's going to hurt people even more now because they're going to be even later to lane phase if they do decide to AFK, or their PC isn't very good and they, you know, disconnect in the early game. They don't have as much time to get into the game now. Invades, that is definitely hurting invades. Like they say here, you know, we still want to make it possible, sure, but we're all, you know, as someone that top lanes a lot, we cut it very fine going for an invade, basing to getting in lane in time. We won't be able to join invades anymore, or if you are joining an invade, you better, you know, you better hope that it works out, because otherwise you are wasting a lot of time if it doesn't work out. But overall, I'd say that's a good thing. Overall, not a bad thing. It's just going to change a few things strategically. So that's update number 1. So far, I'd say, again, this is what you guys can do. Just give your opinions on each different category. Tower thing, I like it. It's less snowbally, and again, it feels awful. Like I said, when you're in top lane, you get ganked once your tower's dead. It's like, what? That was the first gank I died? Or sometimes I didn't even die. I just go back and buy. My tower's dead. It's like, okay. Comeback thing, I think they have to be careful with it. That could be really easy, making the game very unhealthy. That, you know, the better team is winning. You're doing great. One person gets caught, but you're still winning by a lot. Hey, game's turned. Like, just one catch I don't think should be enough to turn an entire game. So they're going to have to be careful with that. Although they are saying that the games might resolve faster if it's a true snowball. I think this is good, having actual dedicated offensive or defensive stats that you can pick. That any tree, you could go resolve, by the way. This is what I'm getting. You can go resolve, but pick offensive in resolve. So you could have tanky runes technically, but getting bonus stats because you picked offensive. And then finally, the miscellaneous starting earlier. I think that's cool. Next, number 2. Hello, everybody. So we are doing runes here. Okay, so we're still hard at work for this year's preseason, and I wanted to jump in with another update on the work is posted here. Our primary aim this preseason is to generally improve the quality of the time spent in-game. I will say, if none of these updates then include anything what you're doing about toxicity, you are failing. Because that is the number 1 priority that Riot should have, and the reason that the number 1 reason why people stop playing League is due to toxic people. 100%. 100%. So if none of this is actually, I will say, I don't blame them if it's not, because technically this might just be about game design and not about behavior. But just saying, definitely a big thing. So rune paths no longer dictate stat bonuses. We've already had that from last one, so some of these might overlap. So, you know, 1 slot is offensive stats only, 1 slot is defensive stats over, 1 is free of choice. So let's actually go on this, because I think it's worth looking at. There you go. So here you go. So this is, I don't know exactly what all this stuff means, but okay. Oh, so I see. So you get to pick offensive, defensive, or whatever. So this person wants to pick offensive. They're getting a bonus 5.6 attack damage. And so you pick your normal runes, and then you also pick offensive, defensive down here. That's what it is. Okay. I will say that's going to make it a little bit longer to do if you're doing runes and champion select. There are going to be mistakes that people make there. So I hope that you can have a default set. And it's like, I default as an aggressive player and it's always set as offensive unless you change it. That would be nice. But yeah, okay, interesting. That's fine. We're not there yet. Wait, I'm an idiot. Alright, so apparently I accidentally opened up the wrong thing. So give me a second. We'll find development number 2. There's number 1. There's number 2. So let's get back into it. Alright. So, next is, they're just going on about a little bit more of the laning phase, improve it slightly longer. So here is the designs that they're looking into. I think the shield one is my favorite. That looks kind of nice. I like that quite a bit. To be honest. And again, we like this idea, but they're obviously going to be explaining it about it some more. So, to TLDR, for those who didn't read the last update, there we go. Outer turrets will have a barricade in the early game that makes them more durable, but you can break off pieces for gold rewards. You are gaining, by the way, if you are winning lane. It's not like you're gaining nothing from hitting the tower. You're still getting gold for every single piece you get. They haven't said how much yet. But they said these barricades haven't had any major directional shifts, so there's nothing really more to say about that. Maybe Development 3 will. Comebacks are more achievable and satisfying, so again, there are very much similar points, but they're just adding more to them. But here, our rough estimate right now is the average bounty of a Fed champion should be 70% of the champion kill gold based and 30% minion monster farm based. That's so interesting. So basically, as I said, if you're just farming, you are building up a bounty just from your farm, which obviously is not a thing at the moment. So if you're going on a kill streak, but then you're not farming, you won't give a crazy big bounty because you're not farming. But if you're really fed, you're getting fed by killing champions and you're farming, your bounty is going to be worth a lot. That's where the comebacks come in. If you kill one of those people that are killing people and farming, woo, that's a lot of gold. That'll be like 1,000 gold maybe. That's interesting. Okay, we won't talk about that anymore. The game is faster and feedback so far. This is what people are saying. We've just recently completed some informative player labs where we brought in a bunch of players from different skill levels and had them test these changes for a full weekend. Again, I'm aware of these type of things too. As always, this gives a lot of useful feedback, and it also gets us more hyped and more confident that you can pull this off. So they seem quite confident about it. Again, these player labs, by the way, just to explain how they work, is any player right now could get an email from Riot saying, hey, can you come? We'll invite you. We'll pay for travel. Come and test this. Literally, I'm not even kidding. Any player can get this email. Well, not toxic players. You'd have to be a positive influence player, not toxic, that they'll definitely do those checks. And that you get a free trip to whatever office they're bringing you to. If it's in LA, if they're bringing you to the one in Dublin in Ireland, it's legit pretty damn good. And that's what they would have just done. They would have just sent a widespread, hey, can you come, maybe to a few hundred people, and then they probably would have had about 10 or 20 people come to the Riot office for free. And they, it seems that they pretty much like how it's going. And they're saying, bonus image, we just thought the first models into the game. So that's kind of what they look like. I think that looks cool. I will say, I don't know if people would agree with me here. Let me know in the comments. It does feel that some of the design choices that Riot are doing nowadays are very, like, mobile game centric, if you know what I mean. Like they kind of just seem mobile, like that big shield. I like how it looks, but it does look like a mobile game a little bit. I know it's not finished, so it's a work in progress, but still. All right, so there's number 2. Let's just see if there's anything new. So that looks a lot better, I will say. There you go. Nice. Instantly, forget what I just said. That looks better. So here is more updates on the towers, and this is actually what I wanted, is the actual numbers. So each plate represents 1,000 hit points. So each plate, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So part of the shield will disappear each time. So turrets will fall more rarely from 100% to 0% after one gank. Literally what I just said. Players that lane aggressively and take risks are still being rewarded. So if you're a Draven Pike lane, you're still going to be rewarded if you're going for tower and early pressure, but you're just not going to kill the tower. They want people basically to stay in lane longer. They don't want your bot lane to go top lane at 6 minutes into the game because they've already killed bot tower. They want people to actually be like, you're a mid laner? Okay, you're staying in mid longer. You're a bot lane? You're staying in bot lane longer, which I like. Sorry, I got hiccups. So it's 1,000 health. And then how much gold? So armor and MR you got MR there too. And oh, wow. Seriously? So they start with 40 armor and 40 magic resist, but every single plate that you kill, it pluses 30 to it. So you kill the first plate, they're at 40 armor and magic resist. You kill one plate, it goes to 70 magic resist and armor, the next plate. Then it goes to 100, then 130, 100. That's great. That is really slowing down how people can kill towers. And then the gold, by the way, is 160 local gold divided by nearby champions. So it is divided. It's not 160 each, it's divided. You as a bot lane kill one of those barriers, you get 80 gold each. All right, it's something. You know, I like this. I'm saying right now, I like this quite a bit. So the outer turret's health has gone up to 5,000. You are not killing a tower pre 10 minutes anymore. Think about this logically, right? The tower has now 5,000 health. It has no resistances anymore, but it has a bonus 5,000 health from the barricades. So it's got 10,000 health for the first 10 minutes of the game. Oh boy, okay, cool. That's fine. I like it. I like the fact that people are going to stay in lane longer. I hate when people like I hate when the enemy support is like in top lane at like 5 minutes. You know, why are you in top lane? Oh, your bot lane tower's already in it. Okay. Players can take the runes they want without feel restricted, so we know this. So you can pick like down here if we can get this bigger. So down here, you do your rune page, then you pick like, you know, 3 different tiers. So I'm guessing like cooldown reduction, attack speed, or whatever. Cooldown. Oh no, that's a cooldown reduction. But you basically get to pick different perks, and they're not subject to what you're picking. So if you go resolve and inspiration right now, that I think would give you bonus health and cooldown reduction. But if you don't want that, it's like, okay, I want to go resolve inspiration, but I want bonus attack damage. You can do that. That I like that. That's a really good change. That is opening up more options to the player base. Because I say, the one thing that I think Riot have always failed on when it comes to runes and masteries back in the day is, oh, it gives the players the choices. You can make all the choices. You can have your own playstyle. No, you don't. There is always a definitive thing that is best. Always. There is very rarely like, oh, you either can do this or do this. There is always like this one thing that is just the superior choice. But with this, sure, there probably will be still the superior choice if you play perfectly, but it does open, oh, okay, I need Conqueror because I need to kill tanks in late game, but I'm against a Riven. Oh, I'll go bonus armor and health so I can have a little bit of a better early game and I don't die in the early game. That is good. That does help. I like it. So the comeback stuff. So this is subject to change. Bounties will be now visible in the scoreboard. So this dude has got a 600 bounty. Wow! That opens up. Again, it is subject to change. That might not happen. But wow, that's interesting. What this does, if I'm not even like overselling it, you know Kindred passive, when you put the Kindred mark on somebody, so you kind of know, okay, Kindred's going to go kill the top laner. She just marked him. That's what these bounties are. Hey, mid lane's got a 600 gold bounty. Guess where the jungler's going? He's going mid to try and get that bounty. It opens up a whole new world of strategy in League of Legends, like completely. Like, you're a jungler and their top laner has a 600 or an 800 gold bounty. The whole enemy team, even that top laner, is expecting you to go top lane. Type to your team, take to your team. Hey guys, they're expecting me to go top lane. I reckon the enemy jungler is probably going to be hanging around there because they think I'm going to go top to try and get their bounty. Let's gank bot instead. They won't expect it. It's a whole new world of strategy. I like it. Plus tick in my box. And then all this stuff too. Again, I don't want to go specifically in all to the numbers because a lot of them are very much going to change, I'm going to be honest. But the idea of that being on the scoreboard, I actually liked it. And I'll say, payout bounties is capped at 1,000 gold, 700 from the bounty, and then 300 from the baseline kill. So you can get in one kill, 1,000 gold. That's a lot. That's a lot of gold. Just imagine. The enemy bot lane in the early game, Pyke, Draven, they get fed in the early game. You're a Vayne Lulu that you outscale them. They both have 1,000 bounties. Vayne gets a double kill, gets 2,000 gold for 2 kills. That's insane. And that's the comebacks that they're talking about. You know, get beat by a Draven Pyke early. They're going to build up them bounties. Vayne gets that double kill in mid game. That they've been having those bounties the whole game. Vayne is now ahead of the Draven. Comeback. That's the point that they're trying to do. Anyway, this is really interesting to me, and I think that's where we're going to leave it. So next video, we'll talk about the next developer update, which is all about getting cheaters away from League. We'll save that for another video, though, because I think 20 minutes is a good place to end it, and we can just focus in on what they've talked about here. So again, in the comment section below, let me know what you think about the tower barricades. Let me know what you think about the new rune changes that you can kind of customize your rune pages, aggressive, defensive, and let me know what you think about the bounty system, having it visible on the scoreboard. I think that is great. But that's going to be it. Like, subscribe, comment down below. See you guys next time. See ya.